is a strike. Well, it is 9 p.m. on the second day of the month of December 2025, and welcome to our bulletin Ndizi TV News at 9 p.m. My name is Chemutai Kirui, and my director tonight is Lucas Oma. And in the highlights tonight, President William Ruto has ordered sweeping police reforms, including promotions for veteran officers and stricter deployment limits, even as ODM leaders push for full implementation of the Raila-Ruto Pact ahead of 2027. Also, the president has defended the bottom-up agenda, a long-term national plan, while Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has underscored security as the backbone of investment. Meanwhile, 48 community representatives are urged to strengthen cooperation with the Interior Ministry to boost local safety, and youth leaders have called on young Kenyans to register in large numbers as voters turnout remains worryingly low in the country. This and more in our bulletin Ndizi TV News at 9 p.m. My name is Chemutai Kirui. Welcome to the bulletin, and to our first story. President William Ruto has announced sweeping reforms within the National Police Service, directing that all constables aged above 50 be promoted to higher ranks as part of efforts to boost morale and to improve efficiency in the security sector. Speaking during the launch of the Jukwaa la Usalama report at State House, Nairobi, the president also declared that no officer should serve in an operation zone for more than 3 years, citing concerns over burnout and welfare. He further revealed that the government will acquire 3,000 electric vehicles to support the mobility needs of national government administration officers, pledging stronger support for those serving in frontline administration and the security roles in the country.
Anti-narcotics unit, ile kitengo ambayo inapigana na madawa ya kulevya, tufanye hiyo kitengo iwe a formed up unit. Tuongeze officers ambao wako katika hiyo kitengo. Saa hizi tuko na officers 160. Tumekubaliana na IG hawa officers tuwaongeze mara 3 wawe officers 500.
Kuna kakitu our chiefs wanapewa wakienda raid, waende pale wasoko nini. Your Excellency, waliniambia kila mwaka imekuwa ikishuka, inaendelea kushuka, inaenda kushuka. Sema neno moja.
Elsewhere, leaders from the Orange Democratic Movement are now demanding full implementation of the 10-point agreement signed between the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and President William Ruto, saying that the commitments must be honored before the 2027 general elections. The leaders made the remarks while receiving candidates who triumphed in last Thursday's by-elections at the party's headquarters in Chungwa House, where victorious aspirants from Ugunja, Magarini and Kasipul were formally welcomed. ODM officials emphasized unity and adherence to the reform agenda as the country prepares for the next electoral cycle.
Na nataka kuwashukuru wananchi wa Kasipul kwa kuniamini. They believed in me and they voted me in. They believed in a youthful leader. Walitambua kuwa sahihi wakati wa Gen Z. Lazima niwashukuru wananchi wa Kasipul. I want to assure the people of Kasipul that I'm bringing new ideas, I'm bringing good leadership.
I want to promise here and today that as Moses of Monday, I will live by the party's ideologies up to the end. And I'll forever be very keen and seek guidance from my leadership, the party leadership.
Going forward, we are there for the party and I will stand for the party in Magarini and Kilifi County as a whole.
I want you, members of ODM, to be proud. You should be proud, but we should work hard. Because if we don't work hard and make our party strong, we are going.
And on matters national governance, President William Ruto has once again defended the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, insisting that it is neither a slogan nor a temporary political tactic, but a comprehensive national development blueprint designed to uplift all Kenyans. The head of state made the remarks at State House, Nairobi, after receiving the Jukwaa la Usalama report, underscoring the government's commitment to inclusive economic progress as a foundation for long-term stability and prosperity in Kenya.
Unajua, kabla ya uchaguzi uliopita, mimi na timu yangu tulifanya what we called economic forums in every county. Tulienda kila county kuzungumza na wananchi, kuelewa vile wanavyotaka na kutueleza vile wangetaka serikali yao iendeshwe na ni mambo gani ya muhimu. Na ndio kwa sababu hiyo ile mpango tunayoendesha kama serikali mukasikia inaitwa bottom up. Bottom up ni kwa sababu imeanza chini. Na bottom up is not a slogan. Bottom up is not a tactic. Bottom up is a strategy ya vile ya kushughulikia mambo yanayohusu wananchi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Kwa ile mipango yote ambayo tunatekeleza kama serikali, mambo ya elimu, mambo ya kilimo, mambo ya afya, mambo yale mengine yote ambayo tunayotekeleza, tunaelekezwa na vile tutashughulikia mwananchi wa kawaida pale chini. That is our strategy.
Meanwhile, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has underscored the critical link between national security and economic investment, saying that security remains the key catalyst for sustainable development. While addressing stakeholders during the presentation of the Jukwaa la Usalama findings at State House, Nairobi, the Deputy President highlighted the vital role played by the local administrators, particularly village elders, whom he described as the government's eyes and ears on the ground. He emphasized that strengthening community-level structures is essential for building a safer and more resilient country.
Sisi ambao tulikuwa kwa timu yako wakati ulikuwa unatafuta uongozi wa taifa, tulikuwa tukiongozwa na wewe, tumesema ya kwamba masuala ya taifa la Kenya na suluhisho ya mashida ambazo na changamoto za taifa la Kenya, tutatafuta suluhu tukianzia mashinani ama kule chini tukienda juu. We made it clear that the resolution of Kenya's challenges will start from the bottom upwards. And therefore, Your Excellency, through your leadership, we are grateful that you have helped us in the security sector to start canvassing national security matters from the bottom upwards. And again, Mr. President, without your support, the ministry would not have had the kind of success they had. And therefore, Your Excellency, as we go forward, and as you lead us into the future, we are looking at security being a key enabler to the vision that you carry for our country. As you continue to envision a better Kenya and what we need to do to build a better, more prosperous country, transform the economy, modernize our country from the third world into the
And still on matters national security, a group of 48 community representatives participating in the Jukwaa la Usalama initiative have been urged to work closely with the Ministry of Interior Security by the Interior Security Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen under the leadership of CS Murkomen to enhance peace and stability in their communities. The government says the partnership between citizens and security agencies is indispensable in addressing emerging threats, restoring trust, and building proactive strategies for safer neighborhoods.
That when you went to the campaign and told the people of Kenya that the governance of Kenya shall be bottom up, you are not making political slogans. You meant business, Your Excellency. It also shows the kind of leader you are. You are humble and you listen to the voices of those who are at the bottom of the pyramid. And Your Excellency, we don't take this for granted. When you appointed me to this ministry, I took over from Professor Kithure Kindiki. And Your Excellency, he had done an exceptional job. He came to office when it was a very difficult time. We were facing banditry, threats of terror, and many other problems. And then when I came to office, you told me, as you continue with the work that Professor started, I want you to go to the bottom and listen to the voices of Kenyans and listen to the voices of the leadership within your ministry and within the government to see how best we can bring together these leaders and take advantage of their expertise and their continuous presence on the ground, Your Excellency, to make sure that government programs are properly explained to the citizens and also government programs are properly implemented from the bottom up. Your Excellency, I did exactly that. And we had 48 Jukwaa la Usalama Forum, Your Excellency. Thanks to your leadership and guidance, I now have the privilege of having spoken, sat, listened, to chiefs, assistant chiefs, village elders, OCSs in every part of our country, Your Excellency, including in Mandera, where we held 2 meetings, one in Mandera town and another one in Elwak. And it was a great privilege to.
And now youth leaders across the country are calling on young people to turn out in large numbers and register as voters ahead of the upcoming general election, expressing concerns over the low turnout recorded so far. Members of the newly formed political party, or rather members of the newly formed political party, the Economic Pillars Alliance, say that despite ongoing voter registration efforts, youth participation remains worryingly low, and they are urging young citizens to recognize their power in shaping national leadership and to take part in the democratic processes while there is still time.
Ambayo tunaleta ni kwamba vijana wasikue kwa menu, wakuwe kwa meza ya kudiscuss about the changes we want in our nation. Kwa hivyo nataka kutoa ombi kwa vijana, tafadhalini tusikubali kutumika kuleta fujo. Manake utatumika na kiongozi, uende kwa fujo, upoteze maisha yako. Tukuje kwa tepa, tujenge chama yetu ili tuboreshe kesho yetu.
Tunataka Gen Z wote wakuje, you register as voters. And we've seen in the recent elections that Gen Z hawakutokea vizuri. Yetu kama tepa ni kuwahimiza mtokee kwa sababu our vote is our voice. Kama hatutajitokeza in 2027, we will still remain in the same position as we've been. And TEPA is here to advocate for all the young people. Tunasema that tunataka kuboresha uchumi. Hatutaki tena kutumiwa kama vibaraka na
It is exactly 19 minutes into the hour, and Ndizi TV News at 9 p.m. is taking a commercial break. When we come back, we will be taking you to Naivasha, whereby activists have raised alarm over a surge in gender-based violence affecting flower farm workers, urging victims to report cases without fear. And elsewhere, of course, we shall be giving you more reports on the updates that has happened across the country this day. My name is Chemutai Kirui, and my director is Lucas Oma.
Je, wewe ni mmiliki wa aina ya gari aina ya Alto, Probox, Harrier, V8 na Lexus? Jipatie brake pads kwa bei nafuu hivi sasa. Vilevile oil filters kwa gari aina ya Toyota na vilevile Subaru. Ili upokee popote ulipo, piga simu kupitia nambari 0739318606.
Katika maisha ya kila siku, changamoto za kisheria sikosekani. Iwe ni haki zako kazini, masuala ya ndoa, mikataba mbalimbali, hata kwenye ardhi. Karibu kwenye Sheria na Jamii, kipindi kinachochambua masuala ya kisheria kwa undani zaidi. Hapa tutakuwa na wachambuzi wa sheria wa kusaidia wewe mpenzi mtazamaji kuelewa ni kipi kile sheria ya Kenya inasema.
Ni vizuri utumie sheria ambazo zimewekwa, the laws that are in place to help you control the properties even when you are dead.
Kwa mob justice, wale ambao wanahusika katika mob justice wanaweza kuletwa mbele ya mahakama na wakafunguliwa mashtaka, either iwe ni a murder charge or a manslaughter charge.
Kila siku ya Jumapili kuanzia saa 2 hadi saa 3 usiku hapa ndani ya Ndizi TV Africa, nami Jeff Nyakundi. Sheria na Jamii, tukielewa sheria tunajenga jamii yenye haki.
Mteja mpendwa, ni wakati sasa wa kujinyakulia aina ya flash disk kuanzia 8GB, 16GB na vilevile 32GB. Vilevile earphones, wireless headsets, unajipatia wireless microphones tofauti kwa bei nafuu. Yale ambayo unafaa kuyafanya hivi sasa ni kwamba unapiga simu kupitia nambari 0739318606. Yote unayapata kwa bei nafuu popote ulipo.
Every Wednesday night, join me for powerful stories and informative stories that will touch your heart and also will be informative on Ndizi TV Africa, where we will be having able and ambitious. Join us as we empower voices that need to be heard and also encourage the inclusive voices in the society, one story at a time. We educate, we inspire, we break barriers and remind the world that disability is not inability. Tune in to Ndizi TV Africa every Wednesday as from 8 p.m. as we celebrate and empower the able and ambitious in our society. Ndizi TV Africa, beyond Africa.
Je, wewe ni mmiliki wa aina ya gari aina ya Alto, Probox, Harrier, V8 na Lexus? Jipatie brake parts kwa bei nafuu hivi sasa. Vilevile oil filters kwa gari aina ya Toyota na vilevile Subaru. Ili upokee popote ulipo, piga simu kupitia nambari 0739318606.
Naam, ni wakati wa kusikiza sauti inayobeba maono, busara na hali halisi ya kisiasa humu nchini. Karibu katika kipindi Sauti ya Uongozi. Hapa tutakuwa tunazungumza na viongozi kujieleza katika hali halisi ya yale ambayo waliahidi kuyafanya, na bila shaka kukupa wewe mtazamaji nafasi ya kuzungumza kama mwananchi wa kawaida kwa yale ambayo waliahidi kuyafanya katika maendeleo humu nchini.
But after making the payment, they delete it. Now, what kind of accounting is that? Because you are supposed to maintain the details of whoever you paid so that the figures can balance.
Watu ambao wanafanyiwa sio kwamba ni wale wananchi wote ambao wako pale wanafanyiwa ile funding. Ni makundi haswa. Na zile pesa kufika katika makundi ikamfikia mwananchi yule ambaye alikuwa anachangiwa akapata kiasi kidogo cha pesa. Ina maana kule kuzurula, ule msururu wa kuzunguka inakuwa ni kama ni null and void kwa mwananchi, anaiona kwamba analagaiwa.
If you graduated in 2016 and somebody graduated in 2020, the 2016 was to be given priority to get that job. But nowadays, members of parliament have taken over. They get the letters, they dish them in funerals, others they sell them to the highest bidder.
Kila wiki tutakuletea mahojiano ya kina na viongozi kutoka sekta mbalimbali na jamii kwa ujumla. Je, unajiuliza maswali ni kipi ambacho kinajiri nyuma ya pasia la uongozi? Basi hapa ndipo unapaswa kukaa mkao wa kutazama na kusikiza. Usikose Sauti ya Uongozi kila siku ya Jumamosi kuanzia saa 1 jioni hadi saa 3 jioni. Ndani ya Ndizi TV Africa, nami Jeff Nyakundi. Sauti ya Uongozi. Tunazungumza, tunajenga, tunabadilika.
Welcome back to Ndizi TV News at 9, and thank you for keeping it Ndizi TV Africa. Remember, you're watching Ndizi TV News at 9 p.m. and I am Chemutai Kirui. Now moving on with our bulletin, human rights activists in Naivasha are raising alarm over what they describe as a troubling rise in gender-based violence, particularly among workers in the region's flower farms. Findings from a recent survey show that at least 4 cases of abuse are reported every week, prompting activists to call on victims to report incidents to the police without fear. The activists say that increased reporting is crucial in ensuring perpetrators are held accountable and in strengthening efforts to protect vulnerable groups.
Kurekod cases mingi sana, tumekuwa tukizireport cases za mambo na defilement za watoto, femicide, domestic violence zimekuwa kwa wingi.
Unakuta kwamba wamama wazee wanashindwa kujisema, lakini wakati tunaingia humo ndani tunawakuta wakijitoa kwa sauti zao. Maybe wengine wameathiriwa sana, maybe hata na watoto wao.
We are seeing a lot of sexual exploitation. We are seeing a lot of content which are inappropriate for learners. There is a lot of luring of people to come in and where they are being exploited.
Na champions wetu huko na pia tunasaidiana pamoja na serikali kujaribu kuziko.
Elsewhere, the tourism sector is set for a major transformation as the government rolls out new strategies aimed at expanding investment and revitalizing tourism activities across the country. Among the key initiatives is the Traverse Culture Program, a cultural tourism model designed to spotlight Kenya's diverse heritage while encouraging citizens' participation and generating new employment opportunities. Officials say that the initiative will play a pivotal role in redefining Kenya's tourism landscape and boosting economic growth.
It gives to come back to Kenya, one, to tour and sample the touristic attractions that are there in the country, and 2, to be able to invest, whether it's in medical tourism, whether it is in the hospitality sector, whether it is in the transport sector, and other business opportunities that are available. So it's a passionate appeal that Kenya is a country that is, all round. The season, the climate, the weather is all round, is very good, and the opportunities for investment are available, and the government has given very good incentives and opportunities for people to be able to come.
We've literally relocated 20 families from the U.S. just this year. We've had at least 6 to 7 customers to come use the healthcare just with us promoting the healthcare system here in Kenya for serious procedures such as fibroid surgeries. We have a family coming in January to do dialysis, cancer treatment.
Elsewhere, the government has officially designated the Galana Kalulu region as a special economic area, unveiling plans to establish a centralized land administration office and to open new doors for expanded private sector participation on previously underutilized public land. Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development Mutahi Kagwe says that the move is expected to stimulate large-scale investment, attract international partners, and significantly raise output in key value chains including edible oils, cereals, vegetables, fruits, livestock, and industrial crops.
We have done large infrastructure on dams, canals, and currently have almost 10 million cubic meters of water for irrigation. We have put up pivots, which are 50 hectares, around 20 of them as we speak. And our main goals were to create a better place than it was by improving the soil, by using the infrastructure and the water from the river to reserve that and use that in a large scale.
At one time, there was an attempt to do this by a sector of the government. I think the machines are still rotting. So for me, is very clear, and I think we should be clear-minded within the Ministry of Agriculture and indeed within the government. The role of the private sector must be enhanced. We must enhance. We must look for ways and means of ensuring that the government facilitates and regulates.
And now wrapping up, the Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Migos Ogamba has announced that the National Treasury will release 2 billion Kenya shillings to the Ministry of Education before the end of the week to support students enrolled in technical and vocational institutions countrywide. Speaking during the 20th graduation ceremony of the Eldoret National Polytechnic, the CS said that the additional funding will accelerate government reforms that are aimed at expanding access to practical skills training and improving the overall quality of technical education.
In the same vein, we are also upgrading qualifying institutions to national polytechnic status to create more training opportunities for our youth and to provide them with globally competitive and recognizable skills and competencies. Our commitment extends beyond infrastructure. In the most recent budget cycle, and we thank the members of Parliament and Treasury for this, the government allocated Kenya shillings 29 billion to the TVET subsector, a clear demonstration that we prioritize skills training, youth empowerment, and sustainable growth. And for the Kati principals here, you will be receiving a 2 billion amount by the end of this week from help. I know you've been hard up. We pushed through Treasury and that resources have been released. So the sector or your institutions will be receiving 2 billion Kenya shillings by the end of this week to support your programs. One of the biggest challenges in TVET has been the shortage of trainers. I'm pleased to report that over 2,000 new trainers have recently been deployed to TVET institutions nationwide across 242 institutions. The government is prioritizing the recruitment of additional trainers in the immediate term to bridge the shortage and ensure that our institutions have enough trainers to support the growing population. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that capitation, scholarships, and support via the Higher Education Loans Board must remain essential pillars of equitable success.
Now that brings us to the end of our bulletin, Ndizi TV News at 9 p.m. tonight. My name is Chemutai Kirui and my director has been Lucas Ohuma. Until next time, Ndizi TV Africa wishes you a good night and a happy festive season.